What's going on, guys? This is actually going to be my new studio. Not much of a room right now, but it actually should transform fairly quickly. I needed to film a video here the other night, and that's why you see this very hokey sound deadening situation going on behind the new desk. I just had to put something up because this room probably, like you can tell right now, has a lot of echo in it. So I put that up. That's just a regular blanket. Hung it up in front of where I was speaking to kind of deaden the noise. Didn't do it 100%, but it got it good enough to film. So this room is only about 10 by 13, so not a huge room, but it should make for a good studio. I laid out the situation that you see in here, I don't know, like 15 different ways to try and figure out how I was going to organize the filming desk, the orientation of the camera, and how the backdrop was going to look. So I wanted to maximize the depth I would have from, where I am and where the desk is, the camera, to the backdrop itself. That way I could, have as much distance, kind of get that cool, blurry background look to give it that depth. Right now this room is just white, of course. I have painters coming in next week. They're gonna color change this to actually a dark color. And then I'll be able to start doing lighting or permanent lighting, things like that. And I'm actually going to start working on kind of placing some of my lighting now. This here I've got on the desk is acoustic foam. So I've got, I don't know how much one. I have about 36 square feet of that, and those are gonna go onto panels, which I'll place on the walls in different places to try and take some of that pop out of this room. I'll be filming in here with my Sony a6400, which is this guy here. This has got a Sigma 16mm 1.4 lens on it. So that gives me the option to get about as much depth of field as I can use, which is great. And I actually took and calculated the field of view of that lens and that camera to lay out this room. And actually all my CAD drawings they worked out. I was pretty realistic where I thought the camera would be and the desk, and I see in the background pretty much exactly what I thought I was going to. I went to IKEA and put this desk together. It's I think it's actually maybe a tabletop, and then those are like a drafting desk style leg. So they're adjustable height, adjustable pitch, so I can kind of be a little bit more flexible with that if I like. But it's a good size. It's almost, I think it's a little over 60 inches long and about 30 inches deep, which is a good size desk. Currently I've got a old softbox light up there. I actually got two new LED softbox setups. Those are still out there. I need to pick those up. Those I'll start getting set up. They're not as deep, so it gives me a little bit better flexibility. I had just a regular floor lamp in here when I filmed the video last time to kind of give me a little bit warmer light on one side, since this softbox is a pretty cool white, but that'll come along. In my actual filming position, from here on the desk, the two shelves that you see back there, which will eventually hold trucks, that'll appear to be a pretty good distance away, even though when I'm sitting here it's only 3 or 4 feet out of arm's reach. I have a lot of other plans as far as that goes. The actual background in the videos should get cut off kind of in this area. So you won't see the double doors that I've got over there. And then on this side of the room, you'll probably see a little bit of this wall, but not a ton of it. But most likely my rolling toolbox will sit next to me over here. I hope to have some storage and a 3D printer kind of on this side. I've got another new 3D printer, so I can have one here and one at the office. That way I have a 3D printer wherever I'm at. Like I said, I'll have these two shelves in the background holding trucks, and then on this area, of course, I'll be blocking a decent amount of this. I noticed when I was filming the last video, just over my shoulder will be this area, so I'll block most of this, and I'll work with some lighting there, but I'll have some shelves kind of around that area just for some display and some cool things like that. At least that's the hope. I do hope to play around with some kind of cool lighting effects on these shelves. I've got a lot of that ordered already. I think the biggest thing is going to be getting the color change done in here. That's going to be a huge help. I need to get the audio working for sure. For audio, I'll actually have my boom mic set up and mounted permanently, not on the table like it is right now. And that'll kind of come over the top. It's just out of camera view. I switched to that microphone only I don't know, a few weeks ago, and it's actually, I really like the sound quality out of that microphone. It's an Audio Technica. I think it was like 180 bucks, so a pretty reasonably priced microphone for a good quality one. Switched to that Audio Technica at the same time I bought that Sony a6400 with the Sigma lens. Overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I was with Canon, now I went to Sony. I, of course, have a lot of setup to do in here. One thing that I do want to do is get the sound deadening stuff. I need to get rolling on that. They shipped compressed, so they actually kind of need to expand. I'm hoping to go pick up some material in 2 foot by 4 foot sheets, like a wood or a melamine or something along those lines, and I'm going to get this attached to that, and that way I can attach the wood backing to the wall easier. I'll put something to hang on the back of the wood rather than trying to attach foam directly to the wall. That just never works out really well. But I'm excited to do that so I can get rid of that, because that looks awful. And I want to get to filming in here right away. Even if the walls aren't painted and my backdrop isn't done, I want to get to filming. My goal is for sure to have myself well lit, sitting at the desk, being able to see what I'm working on, and having just that nice, dark, permanent backdrop set up. Really looking forward to having a permanent studio again, somewhere where I can set up things to look how I want them to look and be there all the time. So I'm gonna go run to our favorite home improvement store and start picking up some material, and then maybe playing around with how the audio sounds by putting some of them up kind of makeshift. So we're gonna cut to that. Maybe I'll play around, maybe I'll do some sample clips with the camera, depending on how far I get, and we'll kind of discuss some of the other hurdles that I have with the new studio. So we're gonna head back to the studio. I'm gonna start prepping those panels with that Super 77 to glue the acoustic foam onto. And then I bought the picture frame D-ring style mounts and some, picture framing wire or whatever. This way I can also hang them and take them back down so that the painter can come in and get everything painted. Because yes, I hate painting RC bodies and RC rooms. So, and that's what one finished panel looks like. So. All right, so I've got a couple of the acoustic panels up, still a little echoey, but I only did 2 of the however many I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna do at least 2 or 3 more. I've got enough material here to do 2 more, but I'll probably end up doing more than that. This is kind of the first audio test I'm just doing with it, but I already feel like this room still feels a little empty or hollow. So I think that I'm going to need to do at least a couple more on this wall to my right here. I don't think I'm gonna do anything on the ceiling as far as like a cloud, they call it, or anything like that. I do need to put up some curtains or blackout curtains on a window that sits right next to me, and that will be a fabric, and I might even try and line that with a heavier material, like a moving blanket style, to try and deaden that even a little bit further, make it more beneficial to the actual acoustics rather than just blacking out the light, so that I can control the light solely with the 2 new soft boxes I put in here. So I did put in the 2 soft boxes. I'll show you guys that on video. One sits right here in front of me. You can see that how hot my hand is there as far as light. And then the other one I've got way up above me here. Several feet above me, just kind of giving me a downward light. Hopefully evens out the lighting on whatever I've got here on the desk in front of me. I just grabbed a truck off of the shelf. I don't have any other light in the room other than these 2 soft boxes and 1 accent light down there behind me that is casting that blue. And that's an RGB light, so I can kind of play with that as I'd like. I can, change it from to basically any color. And I think that might be fun. I might keep that. I might keep using that as some sort of accent. I think once the walls are the dark blue gray that I'm gonna paint them, playing around with that accent RGB light will actually be a little bit more fun. Maybe play around with that just a little bit. Now I do plan to put several shelves and things like that on the walls behind me for just random stuff and kind of completing the look that I'm after. So after I do that, then maybe we'll see what the RGB, if I'm really gonna stay with it, is I don't want it to cast weird or distracting shadows. I need to get those 2 shelves anchored. I do have some accent lighting that I have planned for those that will go lengthwise on the far side of those. So it'll go on the side where you can't see the actual strip. That will go on there. And again, that'll be RGB, allow me to play with it. It's dimmable, so I don't have to have it overpowering or anything like that, but just some little accents here and there. We'll see what I like, we'll see what I don't, but until we try it, I just won't know. But I need to get those shelves anchored first, and then I can really start putting things on there, and I'm gonna wait to anchor those until after paint is done. Overall, with tonight's project of actually getting a couple of the acoustic panels done, I think that was good. More to go, but the actual process that I used, I'm happy enough with, so we can continue that. I did put one in the corner to try and help reflection as best as possible. It's mainly covered by a softbox though, so I don't know if it's in the most, or the most ideal place for the actual performance of it, but for now we'll leave it. I think I'm just gonna add more to the room to really see if everything is working. I have a lot more stuff to come in here, so I'm sure that once I get more objects in here, even though a lot of them are gonna be hard objects and not really have that deadening effect that I'm looking for, but I think that we'll still get to the place where we need to be. Again, I need to get my rolling toolbox in here. It'll sit just here to my side, and that's my other biggest hurdle right now, is that I need to basically outfit an entire second toolbox for here, because I've got one at the shop. Now I need to have one at the studio. Most of my fabrication stuff I'll probably just leave at the shop. Any heavy fabrication I'll do there, I think, or I suspect. At least at this point. These 2 soft boxes I bought do have 2 color settings, the warm white and the cool white. And I just flipped them on and flipped them to both colors. And I think I actually like the warm light that I have it set on right now. I'm going to switch these to the cool real quick and we'll see how that goes. So this is the cool white, and actually I don't hate it. I think that it still looks pretty good. I'm not sure which one I'll actually prefer. I guess I'll be able to tell when I get into post. I initially flipped them on and I just didn't like it, but now I actually kind of do. So I'm gonna have to make some sort of decision there. But I think that's all the progress that I'm gonna get done for tonight. Before we go too crazy with picking any of the light colors or accents, anything like that, I need to get the paint done and see how I like the look of everything, and then we'll make a final decision then. But anyway guys, that's gonna do it for the first studio update. Call this one a night. If you guys have any unique ideas for the studio, absolutely let me know, drop them in the comments. Still have plenty of things that I need to come up with. So anyway, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're not already, comment with whatever you got, hit the notification bell so you see the videos as soon as they get uploaded. Thanks again for watching guys, and we'll see you on the next one.